What's up, guys? This is Wrestling God here, your host, and this is Wrestling Menace Podcast. This is what you're listening to. So, what do you want to talk about? Well, we have a lot to talk about here, especially since I haven't done a podcast episode since last year. So let's get straight into it. Since we have a lot to cover here today, regarding WWE, AEW, TNA, and NXT, just the world of professional wrestling. As it is the best time to be a wrestling fan right now. It is so much going on in the world of wrestling today. Shit, WWE is on Netflix. Like, if you told me this 10 years ago, when I was 10 years old, well, 11 years old, I wouldn't have believed you. Like, this is so unreal right now. Like WWE being on Netflix and Triple H in power. Like, oh yeah, we're living in the best of times right now. And and the thing is, we're living in a time right now that Randy Orton is a babyface and John Cena is a heel. Yeah, you heard that right. John Cena. John Cena. John Cena. Do-do-do-do. He's a heel. And what lifetime is John Cena a heel? He hasn't been heel since like 2004. Like, come on now. Since I was born. Like, that's crazy. Everybody is kind of, pushing it, saying, oh, this is the greatest heel turn of all time and all that stuff. I don't think it's the greatest heel turn of all time, but it's definitely one of the most shocking because I didn't know that they were gonna, you know, like that's crazy. He hasn't been healed in over decades. That's wild. Damn. The Rock really stooped that low because he wanted Cody's soul so bad. He wanted his soul so bad that he stooped down that low to make John Cena heal. That's crazy. And I am so excited to see where this goes. I am so excited for WrestleMania next month. I'm so excited to see a heel John Cena in 2025 versus Cody Rhodes. I honestly figured that Cody Rhodes wasn't going to turn heel. Like, just come on, he's way too lovable, and I just couldn't really see him selling his soul like that to The Rock, especially. First of all, what The Rock did, the whole face touching, that was so gay and so unnecessary. That did not need to happen. And every single segment that The Rock and Cody were in, it just felt awkward. So I'm just glad that, you know, John Cena turned heel, and I can't wait to watch Raw next week because I believe John Cena is gonna be on Raw next week. So it's gonna be amazing. I can't wait to see it. John Cena as a heel in 2025, I cannot wrap my brain around it. You just gotta live with it. But that leads us to the question of, will Cody ever turn heel? I believe Cody will turn heel somewhere down the line, but right now, I don't think Cody is turning heel anytime soon, you know. But trust me, I believe that Cody will turn heel one of these days. Maybe next year, maybe the year after that, who knows? Hell, maybe even sooner. Because I can picture a heel Homelander Cody. Like, I can picture that. And Cody has every right to go heel. He does. He has every single right to go heel. From what the shit that Kevin Owens did to him, uh, the 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 shit that the fans say about him, how he's like overrated and shit. Um, the things that he went through with the bloodline, the things that he's going through right now with John Cena. Like he has so many reasons to turn heel. And when that time comes, everybody's gonna be like, whoa, whoa. Everybody's gonna be like that. Everybody's gonna be like that. But enough about Cody, enough about John Cena, enough about The Rock. Let's talk about what happened last night on SmackDown. The Street Profits, they finally won. They finally won the tag team titles. This should have been happened a while ago. They should have been the Street Profits deserve this tag team title run. They really do. I was so happy when the Street Profits won last night on SmackDown. I popped out of my seat. I was so happy because the Street Profits deserve so much love. Like they are incredibly talented, especially Montez Ford. And you know how many times they've been robbed out of the tag team championships? They finally got it. Thank you. And they better have a lengthy run with it too. They better have match on top of match on top of match that they keep stacking wins and keep having incredible matches. WWE, Triple H, Nick Khan, Nicholas, do not mess this run for the Street Profits up. Because we need the smoke. We want the smoke. You hear me? I was so happy. But what's going to happen at WrestleMania, though? Who will face the Street Profits at WrestleMania? Nobody wants the Street Profits versus Pretty Deadly at WrestleMania. That's ass. That is booty. But I'm just glad that they won. Regardless of the Street Profits winning, I don't like SmackDown. I'm sorry. SmackDown is one, way too long and way too boring. It's just not as captivating as Raw is. Like, and the crazy thing is, SmackDown has stars. I don't know what's like the big issue for SmackDown. I don't know if it's the way the show flows or the atmosphere. I think the biggest problem is the fucking 3 hours. We do not need 3 hours of SmackDown. And the crazy thing about SmackDown being boring is SmackDown used to be the A show. 2016 SmackDown was like the best SmackDown in recent times. When SmackDown was the house that AJ Styles built, the land of opportunity, when SmackDown was like that, that was peak SmackDown. Raw was not beating SmackDown around that time. When Shane McMahon was still around, that's when SmackDown's still good. It is not good now. It's really boring. I cannot sit there and watch an entire episode of SmackDown without falling asleep or without doing something else. I'm sorry. It does not catch my attention like how Raw does. And both brands have a good amount of stars. I don't know what it is. Something needs to change in SmackDown. Like, for real. Because, I mean, granted, I would watch SmackDown over AEW. But I mean, it's still boring. Like, it's still boring. I don't know if it's because of the whole bloodline thing, because that's boring too. Like, it's really getting outdated. It's getting dragged. I don't know what it is. I'm just glad that the Street Profits won. I'm just glad LA Knight is the United States champion. You know, but SmackDown is boring. They need to take that 3 hours away and turn it into 2 hours. Hell, I don't care if we get an hour and 30 minutes. It just needs to be shorter because it's boring. And no one wants to sit through all that. Now, another thing that I'm excited for for WrestleMania 41 is the fact that we get the triple threat match. We officially getting it. I'm telling you right now. Before WWE makes this official, I am telling you this right now. We are getting Punk versus Rollins versus Reigns at WrestleMania 41. We are getting that for sure. Last week on Raw, that confirmed it. The ending of Raw last week confirmed it. I'm sorry, this week. The ending of Raw this past Monday confirmed it. It confirmed it. It really did. Roman Reigns coming back, doing what he did to Rollins, and then doing what he did to CM Punk is definitely gonna confirm it, and that's gonna be a banger ass match. In all honesty, I really want CM Punk to win. I do want CM Punk to win. He has really been getting the short end of the stick, and he really deserves, each win he can get. Like it technically makes sense for CM Punk to win, you know. And then when Punk is out of the picture, then Roman and Rollins, they can have their little feud because that's what it seems like it's going into a potential Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins feud by themselves. And then CM Punk, he can focus on, becoming the WWE champion or the World Heavyweight champion. Like, you know, CM Punk, CM Punk and Seth hate each other, bro. CM Punk hates Seth Rollins and Seth Rollins hates CM Punk. But what I don't understand is why is this whole thing that happened back in 2014 between, Seth Rollins breaking apart the Shield, why is that still being dragged like 10, 11 years later? It's like Roman cannot get that moment out of his head. Like, for real, he cannot get that out of his head. Like, let it go, Roman. That was in 2014. I don't understand why Roman is still on that. Like, he's way more successful now than he's ever been with the Shield. Hell, all three members of the Shield are way more successful now than they were ever when they were with the Shield. And let's be honest, Seth Rollins is the reason we get the tribal chief today. Let's be real here. Seth Rollins created the tribal chief. Because when he broke off the Shield, Roman Reigns had to find his way. And the big dog, it didn't work. The Roman Empire, it didn't work. So he had to keep fishing and finding himself until he met Paul Heyman, got that little phone call, signed a little deal, and became the tribal chief. So, if anything, Roman should be thanking Seth. But I'm very excited for this Rollins, Reigns, and Punk feud. I don't know why Roman and Punk are even feuding. Like, what's the hatred between them? Is it Paul Heyman? Are we finna have a custody battle for Paul Heyman? Like, come on now. But moving on from that, I want to really get to the big topic of discussion here. And that is Logan Paul really good? Is Logan Paul really as good as he say he is? As good as we see him whenever he wrestles, that is. Before I get into that, I just want to make it clear that I hate part-timers. I really do. I hate part-timers. I hate wrestlers that you barely see and they pop up and they get all these opportunities and all that. I love full-time wrestlers more than part-time wrestlers. I get why Logan Paul is a part-time wrestler, because he has a podcast, he's a father, and he does all this other work outside of the WWE, and he was doing it way before he became a WWE superstar. But the moment he signed a contract with Raw, he should have been a full-time um wrestler, or at least show more, or at least wrestle more. But is Logan Paul really good? To me, of course, he still needs improvement. But Logan Paul is very good. Everybody might say, "Oh, that's just you dick riding," or Jake Paul, Logan Paul is overrated. No, I honestly think Logan Paul is good, and it's not just because he's only been in the ring with people like Rey Mysterio and Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and he's fighting all these you know major talents. He's still good, regardless of who Logan Paul is in the ring with. He's still good. Like I said, he still needs work, but that doesn't differentiate the fact that he's good. I know the only thing people say is that he's athletic. Isn't that the whole point of being a wrestler? You're supposed to be athletic. That's part of the reason why you're good at professional wrestling. Yeah, Logan Paul is very athletic. And that's what makes him good in the ring. And the way he learns professional wrestling so easily. Yes, he got the easy route because he trained with Shawn Michaels and all these other, enhanced talent and veterans. But he's still good. He's still good. Needs to improve, but he's still good. His mic work has definitely improved. Like Logan Paul, he's still fresh, he's still green. Of course, he's going to need improvement, but that doesn't deplete the fact that he is a good wrestler. And he's entertaining. He comes off as a douchebag because he is a douchebag, and that's what makes him perfect for being a heel. That's what makes him perfect for being a wrestler because of his personality. And if you had decent mic skills, personality, and you're athletic and can perform well, that makes up a perfect wrestler. That makes up a very good wrestler. You know? So for everybody that's hating on Logan Paul, I understand everybody has their viewerships on the Paul brothers, on Logan Paul and the things that they have done. But you cannot take away from what he does in that ring because he's very good. He's very good. Kind of like Shawn Michaels back in the day. He was a douchebag. He was an asshole. But he was still good in the ring. Don't ever let what people do outside of their work impact what they do inside that ring. Now, moving on from, Logan Paul, because we know he's good. Please don't say he's overrated because he's not. Logan Paul is not overrated. He's just good. And y'all just hate to say that a Paul brother is good at something. But let's talk about Finn Balor and the Judgment Day. First of all, I got all the respect in the world for JD McDonough. What he did was it just makes me respect him and like him more for continuing the match after tearing his seventh rib cage. That had to hurt. It looked like it hurt. Everybody thought it was a head injury or a neck injury. I thought it was too, from the looks of it, but it was a rib injury. And I really wish, he gets a big push when he comes back. He gets a loud pop when he comes back. But Finn Balor and the Judgment Day, I really think that Dominic is going to turn face. He's going to turn face. Finn Balor might, stay heel. But I really want Finn Balor to be away from the Judgment Day. Finn Balor needs to go back to being a loner. He needs to go back to being, the prince. He needs to go back to being what led to him becoming the first ever Universal Champion. Because ever since that injury happened, his career went downhill. And it like never revived. He never got back up to the expectations when he first came to WWE back in 2016. Like, Finn Balor is a very great wrestler. And he's very underrated. And he deserves to be a world champion or a WWE champion. Like, I am so mad that Finn Balor never really got that big push in WWE after the Universal title picture. Like, I still have hope in Finn Balor that he is going to be elevated. I really still have that hope in Finn Balor. Like, come on now. If Damian Priest could win a world title, why can't Finn? Like, they're both good in the ring. They both have great character work. Finn needs to win a world title in maybe like 2026 or something. Because Finn is probably one of the most overlooked and underrated wrestlers of this generation. Like, come on now. And also a big question, will there be a new member of the Judgment Day? That's like really heavily teased right now. And I think Finn Balor is going to be replaced as the leader by Malachi Black. I think that's what's going to happen. I think Malachi Black is going to be the new leader of the Judgment Day. And I think Finn Balor is going to get kicked out of the Judgment Day, or he's going to leave the Judgment Day. So it's exciting to see what's going on with the Judgment Day. I mean, the Judgment Day really hasn't been the same since Mommy and Damian Priest, since they left. It really hasn't been the same. But they're making it work. They're really making it work. Now, NXT and TNA got this partnership going on that I fucks with. I love the NXT TNA little partnership. I love it. I love it so much. We see so much talent being used on both sides of the spectrum. Like, if you were to tell me 2-3 years ago that we'd be seeing the Hardy Boys at NXT, I would be like, no way. But this is 2025. We living in the Triple H era, the Netflix era, so we're getting that. We're getting fucking Moose on NXT. Like, what? We're living in an entirely different world now when it comes to wrestling. And I love the partnership between WWE and TNA because they used to be rivals like a decade ago. Shit, longer than a decade ago. They used to be going at it. But granted, TNA never ran WWE out of business and vice versa. But they were in competition before. Again, nobody really beats WWE, like, honestly. So TNA was like, well, fuck it, we can't beat them. We gonna join their ass. And I have no problem with it because it works really well. They really complement each other. Now, if AEW could just do that, money would be made. But, they won't do that. I'm sorry. But should we get TNA wrestlers in WWE 2K25 or 26? Like, that would be so cool. That would be so dope if like certain TNA wrestlers that showed up at NXT could be on the game as like DLC. That would be fire. That would be dope as fuck. And speaking of 2K25, that game is fun as hell. And I recommend you buy it. I recommend you guys buy WWE 2K25. It has so many like updated features that WWE 2K20 4 does not have. Like real talk. Like you can jump off the barricade. You can fight Nia Jax or Charlotte Flair. I specifically said those two because I really hate them. But yeah, you can you can jump off the ladder into the ring. You can do a whole bunch of shit backstage that you couldn't do in previous 2K games. Um, they got added match types in there. Um, it's a lot. It's a lot. They got you can do a third person view. Like that shit is dope. Like they brought back old features and they brought in new features. And honestly, and women can bleed. Like it's a nice little update. It still has its like bugs and fixes that needs to be made. But overall, WWE 2K25, it's a pretty decent game. It's a solid game. It's definitely an upgrade. Um, the game came out yesterday. It came out last night, but the people that bought the Bloodline edition came out a whole week early, and I'm the one who bought it. I bought the Bloodline edition. It's pretty fun. Um, yeah, it's fun. It's really fun. Updates are still being made, and people are still being added to the game as the days and the weeks and the months progress. But I do recommend everybody listening or everybody that's following me on social media or subscribe to my YouTube channel. I really encourage you to buy the game because it's fun. It really is. Um, but yeah, 2K 2K25 is very fun. Um, but we're done talking about WWE. The last thing I do want to talk about is the state of AEW. What the fuck? Where do I begin with this? AEW viewerships, it just keep dropping and dropping and dropping. And it's like AEW is not getting better at all. Granted, they still have stars, but Tony does not know how to use them. They still have stars. They have Adam Page. They have MJF. They have Swerve Strickland. Um, they have Kenny Omega. I love Kenny Omega. Should we even consider John Moxley a star anymore? Like, what the fuck is he doing with the AEW World Championship? Like, one, why do you keep it in a briefcase? Like, what's the point of you having a belt when you're not showing it? You're just horsing it in a briefcase. Like, what? And, like, he's so fucking boring. John Moxley is boring. His promos are like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't understand John Moxley's character now. I don't understand any stories that he's trying to tell. Like, it's literally the same shit with the Combat Club, whatever I think that's what they're called. I don't even know the name of their little group. Blackpool Combat Club. I think that's what they're called. But I don't even understand like the stories behind, what they're doing with Edge, you know, like I don't know, like John Moxley, he should not be the AEW World Champion. They were better off putting the belt on Christian. Like, at least Christian is better in the ring. At least Christian is better on the microphone. At least Christian has a better character and he's a better storyteller and he's a better heel. Like, Granted, he might be 51, but he's still better than John Moxley. Like, come on now. Come on now. I don't know what's going on with AEW. They still have too many belts. They're still underutilizing their talent when they have so many. Like, where the fuck is Wardlow? Where is Sammy Guevara? Like, what? Where are these people? And then Ricochet shouldn't even be holding a microphone. And I just don't know about AEW anymore. It's just they're still mentioning WWE when they have the chance. That's shit's never gonna change, just to get a cheap ass pop. But honestly, I don't see AEW sticking around for another 10 more years because it has just gotten so bad. Granted, they, like I said, they got good stars. They got Kenny Omega, they got Will Ospreay, they got Swerve Strickland, they got MJF, they got Adam Page. But it's only so many stars. And then the rest of the stars that you think they have, they're not using them. They're not putting them on TV. Hell, Edge doesn't even feel like a star in AEW, and that's fucking ridiculous. Like, come on now. It's Edge. But, I don't know. I'm just glad that Ricky Saints moved to NXT and Ethan Page moved to NXT. I just don't know what to say about AEW anymore because it's a shit show in AEW. I'm still going to go see it though. Collision in March 29th. Uh, you know, I still watch AEW because it's wrestling and some of my favorite wrestlers are on there. But I guarantee you, if the wrestlers I didn't like wasn't in AEW, I would not be watching AEW right now. I swear to you. But like I said, I feel like AEW will not be sticking around for the next 10 years. The viewerships keep degrading, and they suck at storytelling. They suck at utilizing their talent. They just suck. I'm sorry, but the only good thing that comes out of AEW is Tony Khan's money and sometimes, the spots for the matches. That's it. And that's really it. And just if you want to escape WWE, go watch AEW, or TNA. But thank you guys for listening to this Wrestling Menace podcast. I'm your girl, Wrestling God. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to my YouTube. Follow me on all social media because I'm on everything. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I will be uploading podcast episodes each and every single Saturday morning. Love you. Thank you. Goodbye.